Checking in once again with Quincy City Council President, Councillor at Large Noel DeBona for an update of the May 1st City Council meeting. Morning, Noel.
Good morning, Joe. How are you this morning?
Hey, welcome to May.
We're in May. Unfortunately, a little bit of drizzle outside. We got a little bit of rain, but yesterday was a pretty decent day, and we'll look forward to the next few weeks.
See if the weather. This is the start of what's going to be a busy time for the council, right?
It sure is. After this particular meeting last night, starting next week on May 15th, which is 2 weeks from yesterday, we'll probably be starting obviously the start of the finance in the budget cycle. So, we'll probably have the presentation on the next following Monday, 2 Mondays from yesterday, and then we'll go into budget cycles. Probably do it in 3 days or 3 nights, depending on the finance chair, Chuck Phelan. And we're looking forward to having a good discussion about all the budgets and all the departments.
Right. But until then, a couple of items last night we could talk about.
Yes. One of the biggest things is DPW and everything that's going on over there. Commissioner Gracioso has done a fantastic job since he stepped into the role some years ago. We had an appropriation of $10 million for the state revolving fund loan for the sewer and drainage system improvements. He came in front of the council last night in our finance committee meeting and just talked about how we've bundled in the capital improvement plan, the CIP that started in 2017. I spoke about obviously bundling in the Chapter 90 funding and just, allowing these sewer and drainage and, replacements, water mains that we have to get done. We've been very, very aggressive over the last few years. Obviously, the council's approved a $100 million roads and sidewalks package. These are tailored towards intersecting and doing all of it. The sewer and drainage systems is very important. The infrastructure underneath these roads and sidewalks is very, very important to get. Some of these areas they're saying is 100-year-old pipes, very, very bad shape. The concentration in this particular appropriation has been mostly in a lot of it in House Neck and a lot of it in Germantown. Those are very, very, very old areas. We also got some areas for the Montclair area from the bog to the south west Squantum streets, portions of Squantum up by Bellevue down towards Bayside Road. There's a waterfront over there in that particular area that needs some work to be done. Obviously, Rock Island Road, Lennox, Stoughton, Winthrop area, and then some sections of, it used to be Ward 2, it's now Ward 1, believe it or not, is Southern Artery and Washington Street, and then particularly on the Braintree border of Lurton Street and Federal Ave. And then obviously I talked about Germantown and sections of Adams Shore. There's some really, really old infrastructure under there. We want to be on a proactive approach rather than see something burst under there. I spoke with the commissioner last night at the meeting talking about the algorithm of how do you do this. When we go in, we talk to National Grid, he says, and we find out if there's going to be any gas lines going on. We get in, we do the trenches, we have to do our particular work, which is sewer and water main. And then what we'll do is we'll let it settle. And within the next, 6 to 9 to 12 months the following year, you go in and do the road over. There is a master plan. There is a science to this, and we're just trying to pinpoint the particular areas. But if you drive around the city, Joe, I don't know you have. I drive around every neighborhood, just checking on things, and you see a lot of sidewalk work done. You see a ton of road work done. There's some areas that aren't done, and that they look a little patchy and stuff. We're going to get to those areas. There probably was either a gas line leak or something had happened previously that we need to get to, and we're just waiting for it to settle at some point and go and attack it. But this is part of it. The interest rates are really low on this particular one, and it was approved by all the council members that were in there last night. So looking forward to DPW improvements. Commissioner Gracioso, as well as Joe Shea from Granite City Partners, was in the council chambers last night. Done a fantastic job across the cities. If you see it, all areas of the city. I talked about the fact that it's not in one particular area. It's throughout every single neighborhood. Every single ward has gotten, I would say, a little piece of the pie. It's been pretty much tailored out to all 6 wards equally. And we the algorithm is to attack the areas that in most need in this particular area, and this appropriations for that.
That's great. So that will be a lot of work going on this year, I'm sure.
It sure will. And, we're obviously going to be getting into the budget, and obviously Chapter 90 funding and all that stuff get appropriated and be available hopefully on July 1st when the budget's all set and done. And we can tailor in, and Commissioner Gracioso has done a great job with bundling and piggybacking off of different funding. If we get the DOT funding, we get some Chapter 90 funding, we get, this particular fund out of this sewer and drainage system improvements. We get a little bit of coming out of our CIP bond of the 100 million, and you bundle it together and you go into certain areas where you can save money. And Al Gracioso has done a great job as a commissioner with being very frugal at times in certain areas and spending it where you need to be spent it. So he's got a really good eye, and I have a lot of confidence in him moving the city forward in the right direction for everything that's out there in the city. Because, when people pay taxes, they want to see some of those tax money out there. And I will tell you, when I was talking about it, when I came in 2016, we had complaint after complaint after complaint. And 2017 rolled in the CIP package. So we started, bonding certain funding for roads and sidewalks, and we've done a great job, moving into now.
Excellent. All right, that was the Finance Committee, and then you moved on to the regular council meeting, right?
Regular council meeting where there's an order, a home rule petition, an act on authorizing the appointment of retired firefighters as special firefighters in the city of Quincy. This is to also do some of the details out there. It's getting a little tight out there in the city for us on the fire side. Some particular, I would say you have to do, a detail. It has to be a firefighter for this particular area. So Chief Joe Jackson wrote up just a home rule petition. It was a 7-0 vote in the affirmative. Anthony Andronico from Ward 2 councilor has to recluse himself from the vote as a home rule petition. He works for the state, works for, I don't know if you know this, Senator Patrick O'Connor over in Weymouth. And then I asked if Chief Jackson was okay. He wrote it. And then, the Firefighter Association Local 792 President Bowes and how they are okay with it. So asked Mayor's Representative, Chief of Staff, Mr. Walker, Chris Walker, if that was okay. And if they're okay with it, I'm okay with it. And as long as the firefighters are doing okay with that. So that was the first item on the agenda. And then, ordinance amending municipal code, chapter 270, sewers and waters. That was pushed into ordinance committee. There wasn't much talk about that. Just a regularity getting into ordinance. It'll be pushed into Councilor McCarthy, the chairman of the ordinance committee. So that was a really light agenda last night, Joe. We're looking forward to budget cycle coming up and what we're going to see in the appropriations of funding for certain areas. Obviously, there's 5 major components that I think are the big ones. Is the schools, the education budget. You obviously always have the fire and police, which are 2 other budgets. And then you always have to look at healthcare and retirement funds. Now, we've kind of attacked the retirement when we did the bond this past year, which really bailed us out, and we really locked into a really good rate. So hopefully we'll benefit from this. And now in year 2, we always have to look at health insurance. Health insurance in the city in general. We obviously with GIC many years ago, we moved over to Blue Cross Blue Shield. But in the last few years, those annual premiums have gone up a little bit. We've got to look at that. Police and fire are very, very important. And then obviously schools. Those are the 5 major actions. And then there's, the next step of other departments. But those 5 major ones usually always increase. They're usually not 5 departments that decrease in funding availability. So also have to look in the fact that we've had a 3% increase on all of the workers throughout the city. The teachers have agreed to their contracts. So everybody's a 3% across the board. So you have the city workers, you have the police, fire, and the teachers. So every city worker has the 3%. And then there's a retro, and I believe the mayor put in the appropriation of the supplemental that can help out that previous year. So he was really smart about putting that in the budget previously. So I think we're where we need to be, Joe, as a city. Obviously, there's going to be always room for improvement. And what we can do is just attack the areas that we can attack and be smart about and be cognizant about the fact that the interest rates are up. when we would come in front of the council over the previous years and say, well, the rates are really good, and they were, but now the rates are climbing. So we have to be cognizant of bonding and what we're going to do with the future.
Very good. Noel, as you know, today is the day that nomination papers are available at the city clerk's office. And I know you've said previously that you will be seeking re-election.
As a matter of fact, Joe, I'm in the city council up in the city hall right now in my office as city council president. And I'll be walking over there in the next 10 minutes to pull papers for re-election for councilor at large. So we're looking forward to I'll be seeking my 5th term. They're only 2-year terms, so I'll be seeking my 5th term, and it'll be I'm in my 9th year, obviously my 10th year, completing it in December. So looking to rerun, and I'm looking forward to being to continue to be a councilor at large.
Very good. Well, we look forward to speaking with you for the rest of this council session. Thanks a lot, Noel.
Thank you so much, Joe, and you have a great day, and good luck over there at QATV. You guys do a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.